I was sitting on the street the other day, playing my guitar, when a young man ran up about 16 and said, "Mister, I'm running for my life." And I said, "What's wrong, son?" He said, "I've done a lot of wrong in my life, and I've hurt a lot of people too." He said, "But that shouldn't be a reason for anyone to want to take my life, sir." And I agreed with the young man. After giving him some words of encouragement, a carload of what appeared to be gangbangers pulled up with guns drawn, and the young man ran away. But as he ran, he looked back with tears in his eyes and said, "Mr. Guitar Man, say a prayer, pray for me. Mr. Guitar Man, pray for me. Mr. Guitar Man, pray for me. Say a prayer for me. Mr. Guitar Man, say a prayer for me. Pray that I'll make it through this." Oh yeah. Then a young girl, about 17, walked up and said, "Mister, I have 3 babies and no money to buy them food." She said, "Just the other day, I found out that I had AIDS, and the state want to take my babies away from me. And sir, I don't know what I'm gonna do." Then she shook her head, held her head down and walked away. But as she walked away, she looked back with tears in her eyes and said, "Mr. Guitar Man, pray for me. Pray for me. Mr. Guitar Man, pray for me. When you fall on your knees tonight, Mr. Guitar Man, say a prayer for me. Mr. Guitar Man, please say a prayer for me. I'll make it through this. 'Cause we all need it. Oh yeah. Every city, everywhere. So many troubled souls, in need of prayer. We need it. Wherever you are, it don't matter in your life, where you're just trusting God, trusting Him, trusting God, He'll make it all right. Yeah, yeah. Then an old man, who appeared to be just an old wino, walked up and said, "Play that thing, son." He said, "You know, I've been drinking for 50 years, and people say the bottle is going to be the death of me. And I tell them I gotta die from something. You know, people think that you're crazy because you sit here all day playing your guitar by yourself, but it's all good. See, they don't know like I know. See, I know that you know the power of prayer, so pray for me. Please, pray for me. Say a prayer that they stop killing our children. Mr. Guitar Man. Say a prayer for the needy. Pray for me. Say a prayer for the homeless. Mr. Guitar Man. Say a prayer for the whole world. 'Cause we need it. We need prayer today. and said, play that thing, son. He said, you know, I've been drinking for 50 years, and people say the bottle is going to be the death of me. And I tell them I got to die from something. You know, people think that you're crazy because you sit here all day playing your guitar by yourself, but it's all good. See, they don't know like I know. See, I know that you know the power of prayer, so pray for me. Please, pray for me. Say a prayer that they stop killing our children. Mr. Guitar, say a prayer for the needy. Pray for me. Say a prayer for the homeless. Mr. Guitar, say a prayer for the whole world. Because we need.
We are so grateful that you receive us with such support, such love. I am here with this liquid sunshine starting to come down a little harder with the parents of Trayvon Martin, Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin, and his brother Javaris Fulton, and also his aunts Penny and his aunt Stephanie and some other family members. I come here with a heavy heart today, knowing about the history of Birmingham, especially when we consider that almost 49 years ago, 4 little girls who had innocent blood and 2 boys had innocent blood spilled, and I'm reminded February 26, 2012, that Tracy and Sabrina had their innocent blood of their child, Trayvon Martin, spilled. And yet, we buried those 4 little girls almost 49 years ago. We know that their spirit helped move the movement to levels that it would have never went without their innocent blood being spilled. And we know today that even though they had to bury Trayvon, that his spirit is resurrected and is with us and has the whole world saying, I am Trayvon.
All right.
I am
Trayvon. I am Trayvon. I am Trayvon. I am Trayvon. I am Trayvon. I am Trayvon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
And no matter whether it's Washington, D.C., New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and next week we'll be in London having a rally for support, we all continue to say, I am Trayvon Martin. And I think it all goes back to what Sabrina Fulton said at the first hoodie rally. And I would just tell you, this has truly been a movement. It's one of providence. We didn't plan that we were going to be here on the day that the children from Miles College so many years ago walked out, erupting into a movement, evolving into a movement. Just as when we went to Los Angeles last week, we did not know that we were going to chronicle the same time 20 years ago when the Rodney King verdict came out and the people erupted. We didn't know that. We did not plan that. These things are not planned. It is providential.
Providential.
It is a greater force
That's right.
working in all of this. Reverend Matthews and I had a chance to talk over breakfast this morning, and we just talked about how God is in this.
All right.
And, I think oftentimes as I talk with Sabrina and Tracy, other folks wake up every morning and they say, how can we stop justice from happening? And every day, God through his grace lets justice happen. And remember that, we have the moral high ground here, and we have to keep the moral high ground. We can never, ever, ever tried to do what we accuse George Zimmerman of doing.
Amen.
And that is take the law into our own hands.
All right. Say it,
We have
counselor.
to remain peaceful.
That's
We
right.
have to remain calm.
That's right.
We have to stand up with moral high ground.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We have to follow the example of Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin, who
God bless you, baby.
hurt more than any of us over Trayvon Martin, because that was their child. And if they can keep their cool, and they can keep their composure, and they can remain peaceful and accept the rule of law, then we all have to stay peaceful and accept the rule of law. And that's very, very important that we keep the moral high ground here. God is with us.
That's right.
And we have to let God lead. His will be done.
That's right.
I have to say this before we let Sabrina and Tracy come forward. When we were in New York and this movement sprung up, just like the brothers and sisters in Birmingham standing up for a little boy in Sanford, Florida, so many miles away, when we had went to New York and we were pushing for just a simple arrest. All his parents have asked for a simple justice.
Simple justice.
Simple justice.
Simple
Nothing
justice.
more. They don't want anything more than if the shoe was on the other foot and Trayvon pulled the trigger.
All right.
For George Zimmerman to get the same justice that would happen to Trayvon Martin.
All
and
right.
as we have said over and over and over again, and I want to be quoted on this here.
All right.
Everybody tries to say that this is a hard case, that this is a difficult case.
All right. Talk to
This is not a difficult case.
All right.
The evidence is very clear. This armed vigilante pursued and confronted and killed an unarmed kid.
All right. Say it.
Killed an unarmed teenager named Trayvon Benjamin Martin. And if the shoe was on the other foot, nobody, nobody in America, nobody in the world would be saying this is a hard case.
All right.
If Trayvon would have pulled that trigger, he would have been arrested on day one, hour one. He would be prosecuted and he would be convicted and he would be doing 20 years to life.
All right.
Only when the shoe is on the other foot. Only when the shoe is on the other foot, everybody starts saying, oh, this is such a hard case. Oh, he has self-defense. He has stand your ground. Don't y'all know, brothers and sisters, that had Trayvon pulled that trigger, he could have said, stand your ground, self-defense. He could have said whatever.
All
he
right.
would have been arrested that night. It would not have taken 44 days to arrest him. It would not have taken 44 days and a nation of people all over the world signing petitions, marching and protesting. It wouldn't have took all of that to get simple justice. Amen. But it's only when it's one of our children who are laying dead on the ground.
Say it.
We have to do such extraordinary things.
Say it.
Matthew,
Say it.
to
Say
show
it.
the world.
Tell the truth.
We have to do such extraordinary things to get simple justice.
Simple justice.
Simple justice. We're not asking for anything extra, just simple justice.
That's right.
Sabrina said it best as I made ready to close, and thanking you all again. She said it best when we were in New York City, and we had been doing all these interviews, and you all know the story. You watched it live as it happened.
That's right.
We flew up to New York, and we were trying to just let people see the facts. Just see the facts. Don't take our word for it.
That's right.
Don't take anybody's word. Look at the video of Zimmerman 35 minutes after he had shot and killed Trayvon Martin in cold blood. Just look at the video. Don't take our word for it. Just listen with your ears to the 911 tapes. Listen to what he says when he calls and says he's suspicious. He's black. He has on a hoodie. And how he pursues him, and the dispatcher says, don't do that. We don't need you to do that.
That's right.
Just listen to the 911 tapes of the neighbors calling, and listen to the 911 tapes of this child crying out, begging for his life. And you hear that riveting gunshot, and then you hear the silence.
Yeah.
Just listen to the objective evidence. There's evidence here, all the evidence in the world. This is not a hard case. George Zimmerman should be convicted of second-degree murder for killing Trayvon Benjamin Martin, an unarmed teenager who had a bag of Skittles and a can of Arizona iced tea